Hello and welcome to your favorite 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time 3D printing live stream anywhere in the world, as long as it's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not have a James today, but I do have my wife Priscilla, so that's it's going to be interesting because she hates 3D printing.
And
she's
I don't know the first thing about 3D printing.
She's like, you should totally get out of 3D printing because it's horrible.
Not true.
Oh no, that's totally a lie.
That's not true. I try to encourage him every chance I get. I just don't know anything about it.
She's actually the reason I don't make so many videos anymore.
That's not true either.
I'm like, I need to make videos, and she's like, no, you don't. You need to lay around and watch TV and be anemic.
No.
So, all right. So no, none of that's true. I did happen to notice though that there was not a whole lot of you guys waiting before the stream started today, which just proves that you really are all here to see James, and it has nothing to do with me. Or you, right? So later today, I'm going to cry myself to sleep on my huge pillow.
You need to work on your truck, that too.
Let me tell you. Well, I will tell you. That story will come up. Of course, I'm going to talk about vehicles later, but yeah, I have a complaint, and it's aimed at you, Ford, because I know they're watching. No sponsor.
Of course they are. Yeah.
No sponsor. So, but we got Brian Vines in here. I see Felipe posted, but I thought he said earlier that he wasn't going to be here, so maybe it was just a flyby. Sean Butler's with us. Thomas 3D Printing Viking. John Strand. Tom Lama, who sent sugar full candy to my household, but that's all right. It's delicious.
It was delicious.
Ollie's here.
Very cute.
And Alan King. So, but yeah, and I said, maybe it actually has increased. We now have 14 watching. We went from 6 to 14 just because of the notification of going live. But it does truly prove that you guys like James better. And that's okay, because I like James. I like James better than myself anyway. So yeah. He is out goofing off. I guess he was traveling again this weekend. So that is why he was not with me today. And yes, I know we were going to do a makeup stream during the week for him not being here, but it was totally my fault. I get done with work at 4, and by 4:02, I am completely wrecked for the day and out of energy, and don't know that I could even do a stream in the evening. So until I get,
it'd be very hard for you.
Yeah, until I get all of this blood situation worked out and get my energy level back, you guys just have to put up with me on Sundays, where I can spend most of the morning just kind of hibernating and just kind of vegging out,
Catching up on your rest.
So that I have a little bit of energy for these streams. Now, of course, we start these streams at 4, and by about 4:15, I'll probably want to put my head down on the table. But other than that, I will warn you guys up front as well. We have quite a storm brewing outside. There was, when you get those lightning flashes, and they always tell you to count the number of seconds till you hear the thunder, and you know how far away it was. I'm pretty sure we heard it before we seen it. That's how close it was.
It was scary.
So yeah, Zach went, "Oh my God, was that a gunshot?" So that may hinder us. If the power goes out, it just gets dark in here. The cameras will continue to roll, but you won't really be able to see us because it'll be dark in here. So I guess the monitors do stay on, so there's still some front light. So we have we have at least a few minutes to say goodbye before we turn everything off. So yeah.
You want Josh over here for a guest spot? I think that's pretty accurate.
Alien Josh? Absolutely. I mean, he lives so far away. I mean, he lives like a whole 35 minutes from here. So it's crazy. Same old Shane, formerly Shane of Prussia, lives very, very close. He lives like 15 minutes from here.
Not even, I don't think.
No, and of course he has open invitation to come over anytime. It's just because of the whole COVID thing. You guys really got to understand, because of my medical conditions, I have avoided people since February.
Yeah, his medical conditions,
not the mental conditions. No, medical, not the mental. No, I can probably count on both hands the number of times I've been out interacting anywhere with public people. dirty public people.
Yeah.
But no, I have Shane Ray here. I have Happy Extruder Ron just about 35 minutes from here. And then we have Alien Josh about 35 minutes from here. So, I mean, there are others in Florida that are a little bit further away. I know that at some point I still want to go and do a live stream from Gainesville with the Slice guys. I want to do it either get them here, or it would actually be easier for us to go there and do it. But the king doesn't leave his castle. No,
he does not.
No, not with the chances of. And listen, you know, like, it's not the death part that scares me, because we're all going to die at some point, and I know where I'm going when it happens. The problem is, I don't want to end up with long-standing medical conditions on top of what I'm already dealing with. So I'm just trying to avoid all of that.
And I'd hate to be responsible for somebody else getting it. You know, I mean, I'm pretty healthy.
Right.
But if I passed it on to you, I'd probably not forgive myself.
Right. Well, and if I die, you have to deal with all of this.
And I'm going to be hollering for help, because I can't do any of this.
Enjoying my delicious Pomeranian juice.
Pomegranate.
Oh, pomegranate. Yeah, 2 different juices.
I think it's delicious.
But it does, if you guys have low blood, low, what do I got?
White.
Low red cell count. It does help. It's actually good for your heart, and it's noticeable.
Garage sale at Glenn's. Absolutely. Most likely.
Oh my God.
Everything, just take it. I don't know.
My mom was here last week and made the comment about my garage, my big garage, about all the crap that's in there, and you know what would ever happen if something happened to me. And I said, I'm totally sure that my wife would just call 1-800-GOT-JUNK and be like, take it away, even though there's like millions of dollars worth of stuff in there. But
yeah, I wouldn't
Pomeranian juice doesn't sound good.
It's not sound good.
No.
Squeeze Pomeranian.
Yeah, no, they're real. I almost said the B word there. They're real crabby when you squeeze them. So, yeah, I don't know why I call it Pomeranian juice. It just, I guess because I've never used the term pomegranate in my vocabulary up until this point. So, okay, un-3D printing related, because I know that never happens on this channel, and never, ever on this stream do we go off the rails. But I know that I told you guys the story about Daisy, my lovely truck that I bought. And unfortunately, I don't have the picture pulled up anymore to share that, though I really should. The truck had an issue with running hot on the way home. I was leaking coolant. Well, I was 99% sure it was radiator hoses. So to give you guys a little backstory for any of you guys that are car people out there, I have a Ford F450 with a 6.4 liter diesel engine, which was available from 2008 to 2010. And in 2010, they said, man, something is completely wrong. Let's switch engines. So the motor has been good to me, other than the fact that, a guy who has changed radiator hoses on the side of the road to get going, spent what, 5 hours yesterday replacing radiator hoses, because there's no room to reach anything inside that engine. They designed that truck to have 2 technicians be able to take the whole entire cab off in 30 minutes so that you can work on the engine, because there's no space, and it's ridiculous. So my hands are lovely and damaged and cut up. I mean, I'm a hand model during the week, and now how am I going to deal with that? So it was a chore, and I was not out loud because I was alone, but I was using some very colorful language in my head, thinking the things that I would like to do to the design engineers that came up with that monstrosity of a mess. Above and beyond that, the cheapest I could find the hoses, and I bought good hoses. I bought Gates hoses. I didn't buy Ford hoses, because I would have to take a mortgage out on the house. Hey, a hand model is a hand model, regardless of what kind it is. I ended up paying $200 for hoses for that truck, which is, it's 3 of them. It's the upper and 2 halves of a lower. And then the antifreeze, which I think was like $17 or $18 a gallon, concentrate, not pre-mixed. Ridiculous. But the hoses are in, the truck no longer leaks. And so hopefully that's it. Now what I have to do is I have to wash, because it's only got water in it right now. I have to wash all of the hose water out of it with distilled water. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's thundering like crazy. And then my truck will be back safe and on the road. And I was absolutely horrified that it was the EGR coolers that are leaking, because they're notorious. In fact, that was the truck. We took off on a small trip when I first got the truck. I ran it for about 1,200 miles, and we took it down to South Florida. And then on the way back, we went over to the West Coast and came up. We got stranded in Fort Myers because it blew an EGR line, and they're actually notorious for that. And it goes one of two ways. It blows out and shoots antifreeze everywhere, or it blows in and shoots antifreeze into your engine and hydrolocks your $10,000 motor. So, yeah, it makes me lose sleep at night. And had it been that, I would have been looking at between $1,500 and $2,000 to fix it. And I would have fixed it by eliminating the EGR coolers.
We seem to have a few people inquiring about the FK1.
The FK1. I haven't driven it around lately.
It's right there.
Yeah, it is. I can actually spin this. I can spin this camera around today. All my cameras are working for some weird reason. It's a little dark over there, but
see the rest of the mess.
Oh yeah, I always show them the mess. But there's the FK1 in all of her glory, and yes, it's gonna happen. The big benchy's coming. Nice stool, thanks.
Yeah.
The big benchy is coming, but again, I have to make sure that I can put a battery backup on that thing first, and funding has just not allowed it. Mainly because I'm buying $200 worth of radiator hoses. So yeah, but it's coming. I almost fired it up. I think it was Friday afternoon, but yeah, I don't know. I'm really, the one thing about COVID that's really just gut punching me this year is not getting to go to the MRF and the IRF and Orlando Maker Faire. I mean, we've displayed now at Orlando Maker Faire for 2 years. This would have been our third year in a row, and obviously it's going to be a no-go. I haven't heard one way or the other,
No,
but
I'm sure they're not going to.
But no, I don't think it would be. I don't think it'd be safe at this point. Yeah. Plus, I don't know. Even if they said they wanted to do it, I don't think that I would. I don't think that I would make that decision to go. So, but yes, the FK1 is. It's been so long since I've messed with it. I'm not even 100% sure where I left it off. And I did make notes, so I kind of know. You know, because when you're as old as I am, which is almost as old as Walter,
almost
right, you forget things. So
yeah, I'm older than both of you.
Don't tell people that. Tom Lama said, go to lightningmaps.org. Check out the lightning strikes local live. It's pretty cool. Yeah, just the whole state of Florida will just look like one big lightning strike.
It looks pretty scary out there.
Yeah, it's and it's the rain is here now, so
yeah, hopefully it'll blow over pretty soon.
Gainesville Maker Faire is probably not going to be anymore unless somebody picks up the slack. They didn't have one this year, not because of COVID, but because of
somebody to run it.
Yeah, it was really just not. There wasn't enough bodies behind it, and you know I'm always available to help from a distance. I couldn't dedicate the time to even help out, and I was really sad because those guys are pretty awesome. But it could still happen in the future. Gainesville is hard because they have as far as venues, they have a venue that is the size of a shoebox,
Right.
or they have a venue that's the size of a basketball arena and kind of nothing in between. And the larger venues are super, super expensive. Now, last year, it wouldn't have been this year. This year they didn't have one. So last year they had the building was really nice.
Yes,
it was a really nice setup, but it was still too small.
It was small.
I mean, there was still a ton of people outside.
It was kind of mazy. Like it was hard to
yeah.
navigate through.
You had to like go up the elevator and then go across and then come down a set of stairs to see the other half of it. Okay, it wasn't really that bad, but I didn't leave my table really, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, there are enough people in Florida that there's no reason that Maker Faire shouldn't happen. The Tampa Maker Faire apparently was really successful last year, but we didn't get to go because somebody had to have kidney surgery.
Was that that was Tampa?
Oh yeah, it was Tampa, and it was like the weekend of we were
gone.
we were going home the day that it started. So and that would have been like, sorry, honey, stay in the hospital for another day so we can go to Maker Faire.
I could have stayed in the hotel room.
Yeah, I guess. No, they were kicking us out too. They've been here too long. Woo! All right, so. I think a lot of it was just organization. And it's not that I don't think like the guys from Slice Engineering probably could do it, but they're already busy on their own.
Yeah.
So it was the guys from the Gainesville Makerspace that were heading it up. And
they did a nice job.
Which if you get a chance to stop by their Makerspace, it's really cool the way they have it set up, and they have a lot, there's a lot of options for you in there. But yeah, I think it could still happen. It's just not going to happen now.
Right.
I wouldn't even see it happening because that was a February thing. I couldn't even see it happening February 2021. I think it's too close. And obviously ERF's not happening. It's going to be VERF. So it's going to be virtual. I was invited to be a judge for the Fresh Prince contest, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Well, it's James's thing, and he invited me, so it's not really. Yeah. Okay. I said to him, I said, well, when is it? How long will it be? And will it be fun? And so he sent me back the information, and I said, you had me at hello. So Tim Wood said the kids in the last MakerBox video was so funny. Thank you so much. I sometimes in my head, usually as I'm editing, I'm thinking, man, nobody wants to sit and watch this 10-minute opening before we get to the meat. Yeah. But if you're really there just to see the MakerBox, then you can skip ahead. YouTube's got this cool thing that's a timeline, and you can move that. You can't do it to me while we're live, however. But it's just been a thing ever since we started with MakerBox.
That was the one video that you included Zach in because he was so little,
right?
That you wanted him to feel like he was a part of it,
right? It was we threw him a bone, and then he ends up being the star. Turd. But it's always been something like some kind of weird delivery, some kind of. So if you guys haven't ever watched those, shame on you. At least go back and watch the first couple minutes of every episode, at least 100 times each. And but I always try to come up. It's getting hard though. It's getting really hard to come up with.
And we usually come up with them 5 minutes before we
Oh, yeah. The boxes only come once a month, but we don't go, okay, next month we're going to do X, Y, Z, and then we write it down. No. We'll be driving in the car and I'll go, oh, I have an idea. And I'll say it, and then nobody will remember it. And then it's just gone. But no, so it's usually like, hey, this showed up in the mail today. How are we going to open this?
Right.
And that's how and then we spend, 15, 20 minutes batting it around
to come up. If you have any ideas, please feel free to share.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. But the other thing that I want from the MakerBox videos, and I know you guys are watching them, at least somebody is, because I watched the little counter go up and I get so excited. I have like 2.5 years worth of MakerBoxes. Obviously there's the stack. Woo! Oh, there's a stack back there. And then I have up there, and I don't know, there's another pile of them around here somewhere. Last year I gave them out for Halloween candies. Not the candy from the box, just the box. No, not really. But I have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of filament. So my plan going forward is to every video, I'm going to ask the viewers in the video for ideas of what they would like to see printed out of the different filaments, because honestly, my ideas all suck. So, you know, and then, you know, like I don't guarantee it. Like if you say, oh, you know, I want you to print a benchy out of that.
Could you maybe incorporate that into Xander's Theme Thursday?
We've actually talked about that in the past, using those filaments for Xander's Thing Thursdays, but we are definitely not hurting for filaments. There's just too many awesome companies out there like IC3D and 3D Fuel.
That's true.
And, you know, that just like, you know, have some filament. But it's really just the ideas of what to print, because I'm so tired of just 3D printed crap sitting around my house. And with no shows. I mean, usually it's Orlando Maker Fair where we get rid of all of this.
Let everybody take them.
Yeah, and now this year I don't have that outlet, so I have just boxes of.
We do have a new Goodwill in town.
I don't know. I think Goodwill would just throw it in the garbage. So, but yeah, that's what's happening with the MakerBox videos. Oh, my glasses are here.
Yeah, and Michael Cassell said stop animation cartoon. That take a little work, but.
Oh yeah, I'm not artsy at all. Like, oh, we have another guest, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah, that's my girl.
That's Mayhem, the hugger. She's the hugger cat. So yeah, I like when it comes to any type of arts and crafts and stuff, like anything artsy, painting and stuff, I suck at all of that. So, but now this coming month, the box that doesn't even exist yet, I have an intro idea already. So, and it's locked in my head. I think it's a good one. It'll take a little bit of work from the editing standpoint, but it'll be okay, because that only affects me. So.
I think she's nervous.
I have an uneven diameter on my filament. Do you think it can be useful? How bad is the change? I mean, if it's only changing a little bit, you'll be okay. If it's a massive diameter change, then I wouldn't even bother with it. I mean, I would contact the manufacturer and just be like, hey, this is bad, and they might send you some new stuff, but at least let them know. And if it's some off filament that like you can't really reach, that I would just throw it away and buy good stuff. So
yeah,
good color cap for your t-shirts. Yeah.
She reminds me of a toddler when they want to hug you.
Yeah.
To have you carry them.
She's shedding like crazy.
She'll come right up to me and just kind of get up on her hind legs.
Yeah, in fact, she did it one time from about 5 feet away, sprung across the kitchen and just like latched onto her butt. That was good fun. Yeah, we ended up with 2 solid black cats. They're sisters, Mayhem and Chaos. And then we have Dottie, who is black and white. So she's a white cat with black spots. So don't be messing with anything up here. This cat does high fives. I don't have a. You want? Hey, high five. High five. She's not gonna do it because she knows I don't have any treats. But she does high five for treats. Don't drink my juice. Cat butt. So
there it is. In all
perfect.
its glory.
Woo, we just got demonetized for cat porn. She's good, baby. So We used to have a black minx named Little Bear that was a hugger. When she stood on her hind legs, she looked like a black bear cub. That's pretty funny. Both blobs and holes. It's the create. Oh, I wouldn't even mess with that. I would just chuck that in the trash and buy some good filament. You know that they're not sending good stuff. In fact, printer manufacturers don't make their own filament other than Prusa that I know of. So the stuff that they're including is whatever the cheapest garbage they can find. And sometimes it's good. Sometimes it works. Sometimes not so much. So I've become a little bit brand loyal just because, there's only one place that I can get Fun King 3D yellow PETG. So that's the only PETG I run. And then PLA wise, it's pretty much all 3D fuel for me now. So plus whatever comes in the maker box. I came back into the conversation when Glenn was saying something about the change.
I don't remember that conversation.
No, I don't remember that conversation either. Something changing? You guys got to keep up with me because if you go to something from 6 seconds ago, it's gone. I don't script this stuff. It just, usually I let James do all the talking. I think it's usually because those Canadians don't let you get a word in edgewise. I want to build a frame for my homebrew system using aluminum profiles. What should I use to design it? Well, I used Rhino 3D, which is my CAD program of choice. If you've never used it and you're looking for a new CAD program, it's not the one that I would suggest that you start with because it's a NURBS modeling tool. But all I did was I modeled a stick of the extruded aluminum that I'm using from Open Builds, and then I just changed the sizes that I needed them to be, is the way I ended up modeling it out. But you don't even have to go into that level of detail. You could do it in Fusion 360 or whatever, just using a rectangle that matches the size of the extrusion. So, all right, you guys don't start typing so fast. I got to put my glasses back on. I can't see it. Just uploaded a power cut code to my rearm board. Totally crashed it and took a week to relearn the setup. Sounds fun. I use debit cards, so I don't have so much change. Well, the whole entire United States right now doesn't have so much change. Where's James? Who? I got rid of that guy. He was just totally holding me back. And I'm like, it's time for me to go out on my own.
We would never get rid of James.
No, he's traveling this weekend and couldn't be here. And I manned up and decided to go ahead and do a stream anyway. But then I made my wife come on with me so I wouldn't be alone. Otherwise,
I know so much about 3D printing.
Otherwise, I talk to myself, and which isn't bad. It's when I start answering back. It's
now I'm here to smile and nod.
Like I said, it's when I give myself back answers that I didn't know I knew.
And that usually happens when you're talking to me.
So, yeah, I use my wife as a sounding board. Like when I run into problems, I go and I'm telling her about the problem I have. And usually within the process of saying it out loud, I'm like, yeah, never mind. I got it.
Yeah, I don't say anything but sit there.
Yeah, I used to solve a lot of problems when I slept at night. I always had a notepad and pen by my bed because I'd wake up in the middle of the night with a solution to my problem. But now I just don't sleep anymore, so that doesn't happen. I rewound. I have an uneven diameter on my filament. Oh yeah, that's old. That's old news. Yeah. I was asking how bad the change in the diameter was. So, Glenn has the memory like a fish. Fish actually have a better memory than people give them credit for. So, at least mine do. They remember that I'm the guy that feeds them.
Well, they know the turtle too.
Yeah, they do remember not to swim into the turtle's mouth.
Yes.
At least some of them. The ones that I still have do anyway.
The bigger ones. Just keep swimming.
I bought it from the local supplier. There's here. I think you're getting too far ahead. I'm not that far ahead yet.
Sorry.
I use Rhino. It's slow, but I'm used to it now. I don't really have a problem with it being slow, and maybe I just don't know any better. But I've been using it for so long that I thoroughly enjoy designing stuff in it. So it's very efficient. Oh, Brian is like the king of puns. He's just like he is the pun master. Yeah, when people want a pun, they're like, I just can't think of one. Let me get hold of Brian. Yeah. So, but otherwise, 3D printing. Let's see. What did I print this week? Absolutely nothing. That's usually what I print during the week. He's the pun king 3D.
Xander's missing a great conversation over here. We know how much he loves puns.
I'm thinking that this is pretty funny. She doesn't normally just like lay here, but she's having a good old time. She's been a little weird today anyway, but you can't really see her. She kind of blends in with the garbage can. Yeah. But I can't remember what you said 6 seconds ago. Thank you for reminding me of that. I forgot I said that. Oh no, I glanced at that Facebook this morning, and somebody had said something about I guess their wife had asked them if it was a possibility for these machines to cause a fire, and he wasn't really sure how to explain to her whether or not it could, and something to do with, like, what do you guys do with your machines when you're not printing? Like, do you turn them off, or do you? Mine on all the time. Now they are on a battery backup and surge suppression, so that they're protected. Here in Florida, there's no guarantees. But yeah, they just sit on all the time. And I thought, who'd turn them off? It's crazy. Now I do turn off the FK1 because the power supply fan in that thing is ridiculously loud, and I need to. It's a Meanwell power supply, but time-wise now it's out of warranty, so I'm going to cut that thing open and replace the fan with a much quieter one. I don't necessarily need the amount of airflow that thing puts out, because I don't use that. I probably use 1/10 of the capability of that power supply, but I definitely need it to be quiet because it annoys the crap out of me. So yeah, Brian Vine said I turned mine off to make them shut up. All of these are quiet. Well, I say that. In fairness, the CR20 I don't really use, so it's never on. The CR10 I do have to shut off because it's too loud. But these two are on like 99% of the time. The Prush is off right now because I need to calibrate it still. But and then funny story. Yesterday, weeks ago when we were filming that MakerBox video, I was trying to adjust the detail camera, and I held up this piece of paper to the detail camera like this just to check the focus. And Xander goes, "Congratulations on getting the," and I'm like, "Oh, you weren't supposed to see that." And he's like, "We're getting a new Prusa?" And I'm like, "Oh, you weren't supposed to see that." And he was like kind of excited. And I said, "Nah, it came with the upgrade kit." But and he's like, "Oh," and I said, "Why? You don't 3D print anything anyway." So, but yeah. So what is everybody in the community working on? Like you guys always pick on me for not printing stuff. What are you printing? What are you making? What are you making that's useful, that's not crap to sit around the house? I use an Alexa plug on mine and run an Octopi 24/7. Well, I do have Octopi on all of mine. Is the Alexa plug just so that you can shut it off in case of an emergency, or do you use that to actually turn it on and off normally? I think that's supposed to be FK swatters. Fly swatters. He said he's going to design a Fun King fly swatter so I can print a TPU, because I've never printed any TPU.
A case for a drone sounds efficient.
Like a carrying case, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Recently printed the Rainbow Lorian helmet. I did see that on the Twitters. I have a roll of that rainbow filament, but again, that's one of those things that, like, unless you're printing something big, you're not going to get the effect out of it. And if I print a Mandalorian helmet, I would end up painting it, so I wouldn't want to do it in rainbow, unless I just left like the inside of it rainbow so I could enjoy it while I was wearing it.
Sure.
Of course, once you put it on, you can never take it off.
That
is
is
the way.
Yes.
Turn the main power on when I need it. Wow, that's lazy. No, I mean, I mean, in fairness, Alexa, turn off all studio lights.
Okay.
Alexa, turn on all studio lights.
Okay.
So yeah, I know how it goes. And no, that's not really. Alexa, stop. It's not technically all of the studio lights because some of them are on switches and I haven't gotten switches yet, but I do use those at night when Xander's still up here playing video games and it's bedtime and he's not apparently
listening.
adult enough to know when
Yes.
it's time to come down on his own.
Right.
I flash these lights at
And
him.
he'll be wearing his headphones, so even when we call him,
Oh, yeah.
he doesn't
Yeah, he
hear
doesn't
it. He
hear us.
has them so loud,
So I just flash these and
then he knows he needs.
don't
to
say
come
the A word.
down.
No. Yeah, I probably just messed with everybody's A, didn't
I
I?
didn't think about that. That's hilarious.
Everybody at home, their studio lights are going on and
Sorry.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, I won't do that anymore. I really truly wish that they would let you name it whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that you get the three choices, but you know, sometimes I'd like to name her something really nasty because
There are times that I've called her something
Yeah.
really nasty.
they're supposed to
Just
be developing to where it can detect when you're getting irritated. So like when you ask it to play a certain song and it plays the wrong song, and then you're like, no,
or it doesn't
you know,
answer, like it just answers completely.
right.
off of what
Yeah,
you're
it's
trying
supposed to,
ask.
like in the future, it's supposed to detect the annoyance in your voice and then work harder at giving you the answer. And I'm thinking, well, why not just work harder at giving me the answer in the beginning and don't make me get annoyed?
Right.
So I typically thank her as well, and then she's like, absolutely, have a great Thursday or
Did we
whatever.
study that when we first got it? Because I was consistently saying thank you to her, and it was just
You have to have there's an option for like long answers or something. There's an option that you
Yeah.
have to turn on for her to get to. But
I mean,
hey,
like I'll
hey, order some Fun King yellow icy 3D filament and send it to Tom. We were doing that one night to Joe Mike on stream. He had left his running and we were telling it to order printers and stuff from Amazon. It holds a Netgear Pi, a Raspberry Pi, and a Netgear Jetpack, so I can communicate over cellular. I just tweeted a picture of my drone case. Well, that's pretty cool.
It is cool.
Man, I wish I had time for all these cool projects. How do you guys have time for all these cool projects? I mean, all my free time goes into other cool projects. I just need to be retired. I need to win the lottery so I can retire and have unlimited money to do whatever projects I want. I think if that happened, I would then, my YouTube channel would just be somebody following me around with a camera, filming everything that I'm doing. Not like everything like,
Wow. Yeah.
like life-wise, but project-wise.
Mm.
Like, I don't want anybody following me into the bathroom.
I would hope not. No.
Buy 3D printer equals no longer have a life. That's not really true because I have a plethora of 3D printers and I don't print much. It is nice though when you need something to be able to,
Mhm.
and by need something, I don't mean like I need another benchy. Useful.
The guide that you printed for me when I was trying to make all the
Masks.
masks.
Yep.
That was very helpful.
For making, what was that?
It was
tape.
For binding, for bias binding. Tape.
Bias tape. There you go. Yeah, bias tape guides.
Yeah.
Um,
That was quite helpful.
yeah, I actually got on I don't think it was on Thingiverse. I think I got it off of Yagi is where I ended up finding it. But so I printed it out and she's like, oh, this is great. Did you design that so quickly? And I'm like, oh, yeah. And then I said, no, I didn't design it. I got it from somebody else, but
It was very useful. That means you're making a lot of masks.
Well, Brian, let's make a pact right now that if you win, you split it with me, and if I win, I'll split it with you because I have that exact same problem. I don't play it either. So, what? Is there a reflection on the ceiling? This cat, she cannot, like, I used to play with the laser pointer with her, but she gets really weird. Oh, God. That James guy's here.
Oh, no.
Now,
where's the funny one?
Now the secret's out of the bag. I told everybody that I dumped you because you were holding me back. I still have my note. Still got my note. Because James used to come into the FKB streams, but he wouldn't have audio.
He wouldn't have audio.
So, that's my brother from another mother. He's usually right there, but he's not right there today. So,
no.
Have to stop buying POS crash. Oh, I'm going to ban you, Tom. You do not speak of Daisy in such tones. She is
you
not.
have to find the picture of
she
Daisy.
is not
She's
ugly.
beautiful.
I can. I probably
she
probably
is,
pulled up right here.
She is gorgeous.
Should be this one.
And you know what? I got a beach weekend out of it, so.
At a fancy beach resort. All right, so then I have to share screen. Share. Where'd that go? That was weird.
Screen sharing was canceled. There it is.
There she is in all of her glory. She looks a little different now, though, because I took the roof of the truck out of the truck, and I took that bumper. Sorry, I always point at that one. They can't see that. So I took the roof out of the truck, and I took that bumper out of the truck and put it back here. So, yeah, this is the thing that you keep referring to as a missile, right? It's a hose reel.
Yeah, because
see the crank?
Yeah, I see it now.
So when we were driving down the road,
it looks like a missile.
Yeah, looking
from the. I was
looking
like,
in the.
Why is there a missile coming out of the back?
Looking in the rearview mirror, she's like, "Why is there a missile sticking out of the back?"
That's awful.
She's so gorgeous. So, is that your sea view from the house? Yeah, that's actually that's looking out of my backyard. No, that's the hotel that we stayed at. Yeah, so for any of you who didn't catch the stream last week when I was talking about Daisy, I bought Daisy 5.5 hours from here. I drove up to the Panhandle portion of Florida and bought her. Here she is again in all of her glory. And the reason that I bought her, for those of you who are car people, is that particular truck has a 454 cubic inch big block V8 and the bigger transmission in it. And it will be coming out of that truck and into my 1992 half-ton truck. So it should make that truck pretty, well, how do I say it, being family-friendly? Fun to drive. Yeah, we'll go with that. Also, for those who didn't hear the story, that truck was actually hit by an excavator. Apparently, it was on the blind side, and the guy spun the bucket as he was lifting it up and came right up the front of the truck and into the front of the roof and poured a ton of dirt inside of it, apparently. So, but so it's got a great story. Looks great sitting
Driving
in the yard.
Out of the hotel was fun.
Oh, the people on the street
were hilarious.
Yeah, well, the people at the pizza place that slowed down and they were like taking pictures and stuff. No, my wife had said as we were on our way home that I should have painted "Don't text and drive" on the side of it, but I said people would have thought it was me that had done it.
Yeah.
And I don't text and drive. I only Facebook message and drive. No, don't do that. Yeah, it was a good weekend though. Yeah,
It was a great weekend.
Bye, John. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. But yeah, you can kind of see in that picture. I was going to say I didn't take any other pictures of the beach, but I really didn't. I took this picture of the sky.
Yeah, I took a bunch of pictures of the beach, but that's why
that's not even a good picture. I'm not even gonna bother showing you guys that one. I have this picture of Daisy as well, parked next to my 450. So the guy that I bought the truck from, really nice kid. I say kid, he was early 20s, which makes him a kid to me. And he had sent me a message as I was on my way out there, and he said, "So how are you planning to tow this?" Yeah, what? I can't remember the way you worded it, but something like, "How are you going to tow this?" And I said, "I can't drive it." And there was like a long pause, and then he's like, "Well, no, it'll start and run, but I don't think you can drive it." And so I said, "No, I have a bigger dually." So, but that is definitely the heaviest thing I've ever had on that trailer. So, James said, "Okay, everyone, hope you have a good stream. We'll see you all next week. Love you too. Love you too, James.
Love
Thanks,
you, James.
thanks for popping in.
Give Kay my love.
Definitely not the same without you, brother." But no, it was interesting to load it. It was I did put it a little too far forward. It is definitely tongue heavy, but the weight capacity on my truck doesn't even flinch. Didn't care it was back there. So it was a good run overall, other than the water problem.
Yeah.
And then having to replace those horrific radiator hoses. Talking to you, Ford. Oh, and now Sergio's leaving. Good God.
Goodness.
See, like
Yeah.
James leaves and everybody else gets the heck out of here too. See, they're only here for James.
Not nearly as entertaining as James is.
No, he shows all kinds of 3D printing stuff, and like he actually prints stuff.
Weird.
Yeah. I can show you this that I printed.
What is that?
It's a camera.
Oh.
It's a super secret spy cam.
Cool.
This was that project that I was working on that I couldn't get to work, and I was really angry, and it turned out to be a coding issue. But it is it's an IP cam. It's about $10 worth of hardware. So watch for a video coming up on that. Only here for the abuse. But I'm here. Well, me too. And so far the weather's holding up, so that's pretty good. We were afraid that we were going to get shut down due to weather, but no, I want the FK1 to the point where I know that I can just go to it and push the button, and whatever I want to come out of it will come out of it, like a replicator. Yeah. So, if
I'd like to see you share.
Yeah, that's the part that I'm not really excited about. Not because I don't want to share it. I definitely want it to be out there, because the first time somebody else builds one, that's going to be like my proud papa moment.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the fact that I have 2 kids, but but the amount of paperwork that it's going to take to actually release it into the wild. Hi, bud. I had a proud papa moment when you came along too. But no, I truly think hardware-wise, it's where it's supposed to be. Software-wise, it's fantastic. The things that it really needs is the tweaking as far as how fast can I make it go? Can I make it print faster than it does? Not that it doesn't. It prints at a pretty good rate, but I'm thinking about when I print bigger things without going to a larger nozzle and stuff. just how I can get an overall print. Because I mean, if you're printing in a straight line, you can definitely up the speed more than, you know, if you're turning corners and doing odd shapes. And
That makes sense.
And then I have a couple other things that I have to work on, because things like that I'm not going to have handy because now I don't know where I put it. The nice folks over at Slice Engineering were kind enough to give me a Mosquito Magnum hot end to put on there. In fairness, when I originally reached out to E3D and asked them to sponsor it, and they were like, yeah, what do you want? And I said, well, I want a E3D V6 because it's the hot end that I was most familiar with. And I don't think I would have changed that. I think that's where I would have started.
Sure.
No matter what, because people are like, well, you know, why didn't you go with this hot end, or why didn't you go with this hot end? You know, I mean, E3D makes a high volume hot end as well. But I think starting with the V6 was the perfect spot to start because, again, it was a piece of hardware I was already familiar with. I'm already familiar with what the prints coming out of it look like. So I had a target to reach. So pretty much my train of thought was to take a printer I'm already familiar with and turn it into a large my printer, so that I know when something's going wrong, I go, okay, well, that's definitely not supposed to be that way. And then I could dial it in. Now I'm at the point where I can start playing with, and I don't know if I have that in here. I bought a 06 nozzle for it, or a 0.6 nozzle for it. And this is part where I disappear off camera and leave you by yourself.
Yeah, that's nice.
I don't think I have the print in here. In fact, I think it's still in the box from Orlando Maker Faire. But I've never printed with anything that wasn't a 04 nozzle. And then I get this 0.6 nozzle because I want to print faster. And then I realized that I had no business trying to learn how to print with a bigger nozzle on a printer that was brand new, that hadn't even been dialed in yet. So I put the brakes on that, went back to scratch, got back to basics. But now I'm at the point where I could definitely start experimenting with the larger nozzle. I designed the extruder to be very easy to change. Two screws and the whole extruder assembly comes off. Well, 2 screws and about 35 connectors. And then the extruder will come off. So I can have an extruder with a V6 hot end. I can have an extruder with the Slice Engineering Magnum on it. I can have a Hemera, you know, whatever I want to do, and change it very, very easily. And then, of course, you know, a little bit of changes in the code for it. Otherwise, brilliant. Now, there are a couple of things I'm seriously considering moving from the Duet 2 into the Duet 3, because if you guys haven't looked into it, it's amazing. They actually have a board that goes on your extruder, and it allows you to connect the extruder back down to the main board with only 4 wires. It's almost like a network between the main board and the extruder, which I think is just brilliant. But I forget, I figured out what it was going to cost, and it was going to be significant. So I guess I have to wait until I sell a few of these FK ones first. That's a joke. I'm not really selling the FK ones. I don't want to get into that. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? You're going to start knocking stuff off my desk, aren't you? But she's like, just out of view. You can see her tail once in a while. No. Stop. Look.
She found stuff to get into. Oh, there we go.
Oh, here, we got a spot. Oh, yay. Tim, that's actually what it's like, is the CAN bus. And it's really funny because I had made a comment on a live stream that somebody needs to come up with a system like the CAN bus, so I didn't have to run all those wires, and then come to find out that Duet was already working on it. but that's because the guys at Duet are
No, she's
smarter
looking
than me.
for it.
Yeah, she's
No,
gonna
no,
keep.
she's just gonna go crazy.
Can you
looking for
not put the cat butt in my face? Huh?
it. Baby.
Yes, lay down and relax. But yeah, it's on their website if you want to go check it out. There was something. Oh, the expansion board, the DuX board for the 3 does not have as many stepper drivers as the 2, which in my case doesn't really matter. I just thought it was strange that it had less. But with the FK1, I have to run the DuX because of running 4 independent Z motors. So, cat vomit. I have a 0.8 nozzle on my tool changer. It rips through a lot of filament. Yeah, well, I think I ordered the 6 because they were out of 8s, or I would have done the 8. But my thought initially was if I could go to a larger nozzle, I could print the big benchy so much faster. But I still haven't decided if that's really how I want to do it, because I almost want it to be a really beautiful print. And then I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll print one with the larger nozzle so it's quicker, and then I have one. And then after that, I will print, because I've thought about once I print the 1001 single piece benchy, I'm thinking about slicing one into quarters. I guess I would have to slice it into 8 pieces because I'd have to do the height too, and then glooping it together so that I could have like a gigantic. What? This is, I don't know how Martin does this with cats. Like, you're kind of distracting.
She's worse than Zach.
She's looking for the spot. Mm-hmm. So I said we can't play laser with her. It makes her really
a little
weird.
Nutty. Yeah.
Makes her really weird. Can you change the whole print head easily on the FK1? Yeah, that's actually what I was saying just a little bit ago. 2 screws and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 electrical connectors, and the whole extruder body comes off. Now that's part cooling fan, hot end fan, the stepper, thermistor, everything comes away. So you'd have to have another one, which BL Touch. So you would have to have duplicates of all of that. And I did consider making it where just the hot end changed, and that may be another revision later. But it is very easy to change. Oh, this is that Dave guy who like knows everything. So
okay.
like,
the one you were saying was really annoying.
Yeah. He just like always comes in knowing everything. That's Dave from Printed Solid. The Duet 3D has 6 driver main board, and then the expansion has 3 drivers, and you'll have the 1 driver board. So a base board would run everything but extruder, and then use the 1 driver board. Yeah, maybe it was just too confusing, and I said, to heck with this. I don't know. It really came down to the money, but thank you, Dave. Thank you for that information. I knew you'd know. So, what are you doing? No, don't chew that.
What is that?
It's a piece of Bowden tubing for the Prusa. Listen, if you're gonna be up here, you're not messing with my stuff. Squish you into Pomeranian juice.
No, you're not. She's my cat. My cat's my soulmate.
Yeah, but I think it would be really cool to only have to have 4 wires going to my extruder instead of the 30 wires or whatever that's going into that thing. It's ridiculous. But no, in a future revision, and I mean, like, I am going to have to pay some attention to the extruder because of wanting to make one for the Magnum and stuff. But I may make it where the BL Touch stays where it is. The fans stay where they are, and it just changes out. It would have to be the hot end and the stepper motor, because I don't want to have to take it apart. I'd almost want it to be like a manual tool changer. So I could tell everybody I have a tool changer. I just have to undo 2 screws and take it off and put the other one on.
Well, he agrees with you.
Yes, I know everything, and I'm annoying.
Did I meet him?
Oh yeah, you've
I
met.
met-
Yeah, you've met. Dave.
Sorry, I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah. You've definitely met Dave.
Okay.
We went to Printed Solid. Dave.
That's
Dave,
right, we did.
Dave
okay.
was the guy standing in front of the filament production line.
Okay. Yeah.
Like talking to the crowd of people and ignoring me the whole night, which I'm not used to because nobody ignores the Fun King. Yeah.
I have to live with him.
Yeah, but I'm the Fun King. I can do whatever I want. So, but no, we love you, Dave. You know that. So, in fact, I don't think I gave a shameless plug for Printed Solid today. So, if you guys are looking to get a Duet 3, they're available at printedsolid.com. No sponsor. That's not true. Dave takes good care of me.
They're good people there.
Dave sent me a really huge sheet of PEI that I was terrified to put on, but it's on, and now I'm just terrified to print on it because I don't want to gouge a hole in it. But no, the FK1 will become more of a focus as time allows. I know that I'm going to end up incorporating some 3D printing into my automotive projects that are coming up. It's just going to be finding the right materials. You can only sleep with one eye open for some. I don't sleep anymore. It's part of the whole anemia thing. It causes you to be tired all the time. It also causes you to not sleep.
Tired during the day and then wide awake at night.
So I'm always aware of what's going on and how many times that she punches me in her sleep.
I do.
In her sleep.
That's not a.
No, that's not a joke.
No,
that's really
that's
true. It's
real.
like she gets these.
I get violent dreams, and
there has been more than one occasion where she has kicked me, clawed me.
My favorite was when I pulled the pillow out from.
Oh, jerked my pillow right out from under my head and threw it across the room, and I woke up like, what? So it. Now, I don't want to make it sound like that happens all the time. It's a rare occasion.
I get the occasional violent dream, and my body seems to want to act it out.
See, everybody's at home right now going, man, I wish I lived that guy's life. I wouldn't change it for anything.
I think so.
Not for anything would I change it. So, but
I make up for it during the day by being such a loving and compassionate wife.
Oh yeah, no, my wife has made me soft. Like I don't cook anything anymore. I don't make my own sandwiches. No, she takes good care of me. But I don't hide that. I already told everybody that. So
I would punch him too. It's really unintentional. I don't mean to.
I don't know, Dave. You know, that one time, I don't remember you punching me. Oh, 3D print the panels for the truck. You may need a bigger FK1, but go for it. Yeah, the only problem is here in Florida, there's not too many materials that are going to hold up to the heat. So, but I'm thinking for some of the custom interior and stuff that there is going to be, if nothing else, 3D printed 3D printing used for bucks and stuff for fiberglass molds and who knows what else. So things can definitely interact between the two. So I don't know. I got to use my 3D printing fame for something.
You still have that?
No, nobody knows who I am anymore. But I don't know. I just, like, honestly, I get bored of hobbies. Not necessarily quickly, but I don't slow roll into anything.
No, like you go full bore.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I want to get into this, so I go out and buy as many of the best ones that I ever can, and then either I suck at it and never want to do it again, which that doesn't happen.
No, because you can do anything.
Right. Oh, amazing! I'm the fun king.
That's right.
Or I just get bored, and then I don't think that I have ever given up a hobby. I mean, I'm trying to think, but I don't think I've ever actually given up a hobby.
No, it just fizzles out.
Yeah, I just rotate them over sometimes a long period of time. But like RC cars, I mean, I got into RC cars when I was 12 or 13, and I did that for 10 years. And then, you know, I kind of dumped out of it for a while, and then I have them now, and I play with them once in a while, you know. But so everything's round robin. And I think that I think if I took some time and kind of restructured everything in this house to make things a little bit easier to use, it would be different too. Fatherhood, not so much. I mean, yeah, the kids do take away time from some things, and you know, like, you don't necessarily do the same hobbies before you have kids. I know that my kids take away a lot of my money, but not so much of my time. And then I always look for hobbies that the kids like to do. Yeah. Now, Zach, I'm teaching Zach how to drive. Xander will be 14 in 20 days?
Xander wants to learn how to drive too.
But I've taught my 9-year-old how to drive. And when I say how to drive, I mean, like, drive my big truck. Is that the Fun King?
He's got dollar signs for eyes.
Ching, ching. Yeah, that's what he sees me as, dollar signs. But no, I was always hoping that Xander was going to get into cars, and he never really did. In fact, for a long time, Xander used to tell us that he wanted a minivan.
Yes.
He wanted that to be his first car. He wanted a minivan.
Yeah, he still wants that large.
Well, he wanted the minivan because it has TVs in it. And I'm like, you'll be driving. You can't watch TV. Now, he was what? Zach's age at that point.
Yeah.
But, and I don't have pictures of Charlie. I bought a 1999 Suburban for the interior. And it was a New York-based truck, and the whole bottom of it is completely rotted. It is so rotted out. But I drug this thing home and jokingly around. We tell Xander, hey, we bought you your first car. And I take him out the side door, and he looks, and he's like, he was excited.
He loved it. Yeah.
And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. And I said, all right, well, I'll find you a Suburban, because I'm cool with that. We can lower a Suburban and put some cool wheels on it. And, you know, huge stereo system in a Suburban. Whew. I mean, think of the subs you could put in the back of that. But I don't know. He was, I'm thinking maybe even a Tahoe might be better because they're a little bit smaller. But no, he's excited about that. So
I think he wants to take a whole group of his friends, you know, and skip school.
Yeah. Well, secretly, what's the word I'm looking for? Is it secretly? He wants to be a school bus driver. And
right.
So he's just going to get a Suburban instead. Daddy spelled backwards as ATM.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So, and you know, okay, so full disclosure, in fairness, it's not always the kids that are like, buy me this. Sometimes I just buy them stuff to try to make them happy, and then they don't appreciate it.
We are guilty of spoiling our kids.
Oh God, you guys have no idea.
Very guilty.
When Xander was a loner, when we only had Xander before Zach came along, it was really bad. Like, he was really, really spoiled. He would get something every time we went in the store. So Zach now just mostly gets hand-me-down toys and stuff.
But he's equally spoiled.
Yeah. But no, so I don't know. Xander does not have much interest in anything other than playing video games.
He's into music right now.
Yeah, he is. He's getting into mixing music. So he could be like the next big name in the music scene. You never know. So.
But yeah, ideally, I'd like him to do something a little active, move his body a little bit.
Yeah. 24/7 Hinky said the price of insurance is that kills. Absolutely. Yeah. I have my 1976 Corvette that's still looking for a home if anyone's interested. All original survivor car, beautiful, less than 84,000 miles. But he's like, oh, I want that to be my first car. And I'm like, you find somebody to insure you and you pay for it, and okay. Oh, what do we got now?
No, a very large dollar amount.
It's just a large amount of money and 99 cents. I'll give you the 99 cents.
There you go.
Hey, didn't I tell you if you were going to come on camera, you had to be wearing a Fun King shirt? I can't have people knowing that you wear things other than a Fun King shirt. I mean, I don't, but studio, my apartment is back available. It is empty. I'm not inviting any of you guys to move in with me. But
Talk to me about that.
the space, I don't know. Some of these people are really weird. I've met most of them.
Well, doesn't Sean need a place to live?
I'm trying to get him down to
Yeah.
Florida. No, so that space, we're trying to decide what to do with that space. And I have kicked around moving the studio out there.
I don't see that happening.
The hard part is that all the printers would have to be in the studio, and then I wouldn't have any printers up here, which is where I am most of the time. So unless I just moved my
You
office
can
out
move
there.
your office out there.
Yeah, but that desk is so nice. And I can't move that desk.
No,
That desk weighs like what this house weighs. It was so heavy, but I built it to fit exactly there. So my son pays $2,500. That's is that euro or pound? That's pound for the year insurance. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
Chris Lane said FL Studio demo is free, and you can make music with that.
You hear that, Xander?
He's not listening. He plays his headphones so loud he's going to be deaf in a year anyway.
Turn on the studio lights. UK pounds.
Yeah, I'm not even good. I'm not even good with dollars.
What
So
does he use for mixing music?
what
Xander.
are you using to mix?
U.DJ.
U.DJ. Hey, don't get crabby with me. I can shut off your internet from here.
Chris Lane says Florida Studio demo.
FL Studio.
FL Studio
It's
demo.
Fruity Loops.
Oh, is free.
He's not listening.
He's not listening again. Oh, well, he loses out
It is
because,
free.
okay.
It's free, but you can buy certain tiers of it.
I'll just keep throwing stuff at him because it's fun.
25.
And then he gets annoyed, which is really fun.
Okay.
I love you.
Yeah, whatever.
I told Xander because he wears his headphones and he has them up so loud. And then he's talking with his friends online and he gets louder and louder and louder to the point where I have to scream at him. And so I told him I'm going to design and build an Arduino circuit with a microphone. And when he hits a certain decibel level, it's going to light up a light. And then if he goes over another decibel level, it's going to activate a cattle prod in his chair
Nice.
and give him a severe electrical shock.
He's not listening.
No, but he already knows because I already told him.
Oh, you're
So.
just ignoring us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's all right. He's such a
He's
teenager.
He's such a
He's been a moody teenager since he was like 8.
It's our fault for spoiling him.
Yeah. I suppose I can put the other chat window back up.
Oh, yeah.
It's easier to
That's
read.
easier to read.
It's
Yeah.
larger.
I was struggling over there.
So, but yeah, I do think that I'm going to take some time this week and get the Prusa calibrated. And then I don't know if you guys have seen on the Twitters, well, the Twitters and the Facebook, if you follow them on Facebook, but Walter from Country 3D has started to play with a laser engraver. And I have one of those on the CR20 that I've never even fired up, but it looks kind of cool. So I might have to play with that.
What now? What do we have here?
Zap.
Oh, Xander.
Oh, there's the diagram of what's going to happen to him when he's too loud. Lasers. Now all I need is a shark. Oh, we have plenty of those here. I was actually disappointed when we were at the hotel. We were on the 8th floor, and I just wanted to see sharks.
But
Like
we did see some dolphins.
But we did get to see some dolphins. swimming.
That was awesome.
But I wanted to see, because my dad had once met a guy who flew. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Orlando, but there used to be a place called Rosie O'Grady's, and they would fly the biplanes up and down the beach with the banners behind them. And my dad met one of the pilots, and he said it was absolutely amazing to see how many things were swimming around people while they were in the ocean, and they didn't even realize it. So I was thinking, from 8 stories up, heck yeah, I'm going to see me some sharks swimming around some people, and no sharks. So Rosie O'Grady's, yeah, they used to have the foam, the old timey hats that you could get, you know, yeah. But yeah, that was a big thing for downtown Orlando. Was
You
Rosie
always saw
O'Grady's.
those planes flying by.
Yep. Now it's just another dumpy city.
Yeah, it was a little rough in the water because the storm was coming.
At Rosie O'Grady's?
No,
Oh, at the beach.
at the beach. I'm back to the beach now. Sorry.
Yeah, it was. The weather was kind of hit or miss all weekend, but Pleasure Island killed it. I could be.
Yeah.
My favorite. This is gonna be a weird story, but my favorite place out at Pleasure Island was the Country Western Bar, where when you'd go into the men's bathroom, all the urinals were along the wall like this, and the top of the wall was two-way glass.
Oh, that's.
So the people, like when you'd walk up to the urinal, you could see the people in the bar,
Oh dear.
but they couldn't see Neon Armadillo. There you go. Yeah, they couldn't see the other way, but it was really funny to watch the reaction of people walking into the bathroom who had never seen it before.
Yeah.
Because like most of the people would, like, some of them would come stumbling in, but some of them would just like walk in and then be like, oh heck no. Yeah, it was that was always good fun. So I try to avoid bars heavily because I'm not a drinker, but I try to avoid all the touristy places anyway.
Yeah, I used to hang out at Pleasure Island a lot back in the day.
I was just hung out at downtown Disney. Go to the movies like 3-4 times a week because that's weird. Oh yeah. Oh, it was weird. It was a little disturbing. So I've been similar toilets in Vietnam, but there was a full toilet wall like that. Yeah, well, like it was funny too, because people would come in and they would see it and then they would leave and you'd wait a second and they would go out around and stand in the bar and look back just to see, and they would like come up and like lean up to try to see it, but the bathroom was very dimly lit,
Right.
so you couldn't. It would also make it a lot more difficult to notice if the guy next to you was peeing on your leg. So
That. Yeah, I used to hang out a lot at the Adventurers Club.
I don't even know what that is.
Remember that? Yeah, that was fun.
I don't know. That was a lifetime ago. Woo.
Long time ago. We didn't know each other then.
No, probably not. We might have both. Probably not. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, I'm not going to touch that one. But yeah. So, but that's pretty much my plan as far as where the FK1 is going, and hopefully my plans for this week. Again, I am completely wrecked usually by the middle of the day, but I make it through my work shift. There's been many days over the last couple of weeks where by like 4:15 I was taking a nap. So that's rough, but I don't know. It's not that I don't enjoy 3D printing anymore, because I do. I think the technology is still amazing. I love watching it happen. I love when, and it could be just because I don't talk to people anymore. I don't go out in public, but I love when you get to talk to somebody who doesn't really understand the technology, and you get to kind of explain to them the way it happens, or you get to show them it happening. That's always a lot of fun for me, and I truly enjoy it. That's why I enjoy the maker fairs so much. I like Murph and Earth, but not for that side of it. It's
Right.
just to see the people, that we know from the community.
In person.
But generally you're not at Murph or Earth explaining to somebody what 3D printing is. Because if they don't know what 3D printing is, chances are they're not there. Or if they've come in not really knowing what it is, by the time they get to you, they already know what it is. So that part of it. The maker fairs, however, so if you've never done a maker fair, I can't recommend it enough. That is just a huge melting pot of all kinds of makers. So it's not all 3D printing. So you get people who have no idea. It's I think the first year was a little bit tougher on me because my brain didn't really accept that. Like people would come up to see the FK1 and they just kind of stood there and stared and and I would say to them, well, ask any questions you want. And they're like, okay. And then they just walk off. And by the second year, I realized a lot of people didn't even know what it was. So, not even just beyond the fact that it was this mammoth printer, it was more to get people to ask about the technology. So that's the part that I enjoy. The kids, man, I love when the kids come up and they show any interest in it at all. That one little girl, I gave her a Makey robot and she was so excited and she like ran up and hugged me. And I'm like, wow, I've never had anybody hug me for giving them a bunch of 3D printed crap before.
Well, and on the mom side, because that's the way I see it, is I love to watch Xander interact with the other kids and kind of explain to them. He put himself in kind of the teacher role,
right? And
was able, and that was just a proud moment for me, to watch him be that guy.
Yeah, kind of. He was a little standoffish in the beginning. Like he didn't really. He's got my same hangups. He just doesn't. He has a little bit of social anxiety issues, but it was like all of a sudden he was kind of playing watchdog for the table is what he was doing. He was making sure that nobody was breaking or taking stuff.
But you could see the progression.
And then the kids started to ask questions. And of course, the kids are more apt to ask other kids questions. So all of a sudden, like he started to build that relationship. Plus, I mean, I couldn't get a word in edgewise. I never left the FK1.
Right.
Like it was just
right. No, he was the other conversation.
And Xander kept making fun of me because I was telling the same story over and over again. I'm like, but it's my story. We had a class of elementary kids come to my shop years ago. One girl told us this place is magical. But the thing is I'm 40 years old and things are still magical to me. I've recently started, and if you guys haven't seen them, you're missing out. There is a YouTube channel called This Old Tony, and the guy does all of the videos of just from his hands. Like you only ever see his hands, and his voice sounds like Alan Alda to me.
Okay.
And but I think if you put Tony and Brian Vines in a room together, the amount of puns and dad jokes could cause nuclear fusion. I mean, some of his jokes are like, I don't know. I have a weird sense of humor to begin with, and most people aren't funny to me, but that guy makes me laugh out loud. So, yeah, if you guys have never tuned in to This Old Tony, I've been...
Jake from State Farm is here.
Hello, Jake from State Farm. Yeah, you have to acknowledge him, or he has a meltdown.
Absolutely.
Yeah, even though his name.
Well, he's Jake from State Farm.
Even though his name's really Matt, and he doesn't wear khakis. It's really kind of disappointing. The one time I live streamed and he was on there and wasn't wearing khakis or a red polo. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of welding. I want to get into TIG welding. So I've been watching a lot of TIG welding videos because I don't have enough hobbies. I gotta have more hobbies. And so I was watching, I have to cough. I was watching the fabrication series, and I don't know, from that I ended up with this old Tony, and it's been a wonderful rabbit hole. But that's kind of my point. That's where the story was going before I got derailed.
Oh, sorry.
No, it was my own fault. I got off my own tangent. I started thinking about this old Tony, and then I couldn't think of anything else. Even at my age, there is still so much to learn. And I don't ever go through a day without learning something. And I'm not saying like learning something in my job, because I always learn something in my job. I mean, something that may be complete and useless knowledge to me at that moment, but might help me later.
Yeah.
And like, I'm absolutely enamored with stuff like how it works when they take stuff apart. Videos like this old Tony does a lot of it, where he disassembles something and then makes his own version of it and stuff and explains just stupid stuff. The one I was watching today was a cabinet latch. I had no idea how they worked. They were magical inside to me. And he put it on the mill and cut it open so you could see the inside of it. And it's like, oh, it's so simple, but yet ingenious at the same time. So when Michael had said that they'd come to his shop and it was magical, if you don't know how something works, it is magical.
Totally.
I remember when I got my first vinyl cutter, I just wanted, no, in fact, it was when I was working for the tint shop. I just wanted to cut circles, because that was so amazing to me, to watch that thing move the material in and out and the blade side to side to make a circle. I'm like, that is just amazing, as simple as that is. So yeah, 3D printing, just I had said to a person one time that I was into 3D printing, that I ran a 3D printing YouTube channel, and they were a little excited and said that they wanted to get into such things because they did a lot of photography and they wanted to print 3D pictures. And I'm like, no, I don't think we're talking about the same thing. And they're like, yeah, where you put on the glasses? And I'm like, no. And so then out comes the maker coin, which needs a really good cleaning.
Yeah.
Out comes the maker coin. And when you can put that maker coin in somebody's hand and you say, I made that from nothing, then it starts to click. And they mean, well, what do you mean from nothing? Well, I had a roll of what looks like weed whacker filament or weed whacker line, and I drew this in the computer and I told it to make it, and it made it. The thickness of a sheet of paper at a time. And then
It is magic.
then the light bulb starts to come on, and I said, and that's how I explained it to the kids at the maker fairs too. I said, if you were to take this, whatever it is, my maker coin or this here benchy, and if you were to slice that into a bunch of pieces, the thickness of 2 sheets of paper, and you took that and then you drew the first layer and then you put a piece of paper and you drew the next layer and you put a piece of paper and you drew the next. That's exactly what this machine is doing, except for it's doing it with a physical media. And then it's just like, you can see the gears start to grind. And the whole time they're thinking, oh, think of all those toys I could make.
All those toys.
Yeah, all those toys, and so many more. So yeah, Zach comes to me. Oh, where's your big dinosaur, buddy?
He brought the raptor claw out earlier.
Where's the big flexi dinosaur? So he comes to me with I got a cough again. He comes to me with his little raptors, his little flexi raptors, and he says, could you print me a T-Rex for these in the right scale?
Right.
So I had to print. It was the biggest that the CR10 would print, because the FK1 still wasn't right yet. So there's a bigger one coming. my thought was, well, couldn't I print you smaller Raptors to go with the T-Rex you already have? But no. I don't know if he's going to bring it up or not, but yeah, now I want to do him like a great big one on the FK1, but he is pretty funny how he'll come to me with different things and just be like, hey, can you, and then he wants the Raptors now printed in specific colors.
Right.
Yeah, let me see that bad boy. Don't be surprised if you don't see this on a upcoming Xander's thing Thursday, because this thing is just too awesome to not use.
Really cool.
That is as big as I could get on the CR10S Pro. So, but yeah, that's fun. I like those little flexi Raptors because I like grab onto the side of a cup or whatever. So need to oil those gears if they're grinding. It's not yellow.
It's
no,
not yellow. No, his favorite color is green.
Yeah, what kind of dinosaur would be yellow? That'd be weird.
This is about Zach.
About 50 of us here. Let's let Glenn know where we are. Yeah. I only see 36. But yeah, I mean, you guys better be pushing that thumbs up button. I mean,
right. For no other reason to make Zach happy.
As much as I pay you guys. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And don't forget, there's always a chance to win cash and prizes. Just not today. There will be some giveaways coming up. Still waiting to work out the details with IC3D, but they're going to give away some filament for us. It'll be US and Canada only, unfortunately. I got to get some overseas. I got to get some people on the other side of the pond that'll do some giveaways with us so that it can be more fair. Sure. It always kills me when I can't spread the love everywhere. And look at like UK, Devon, England.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool.
Could maybe print it bigger if you could do it like the snake puzzle.
I'm not
Well,
sure
I can print it bigger because I have a bigger printer.
What is the snake puzzle?
I'll have to here. I'll pull it up. If Thingiverse works.
Oh, that Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
This is riveting YouTube right here. People watching me type in on Thingiverse.
Right.
It'll come up in about an hour.
Yeah, overseas postage is the problem. Oh, I see.
Because you can
see.
You can coil it around and stuff. So it takes
it'll
take the whole bed. Like you're using almost every bit of surface on the bed. So
Ireland.
Another Canadian. Got to be careful with those. Got to be careful with the Canadians though, because if you bust on the maple leaf, oh my God, you take some heat for that.
No. My favorite TV is Canadian.
I know. I probably told this story just a couple weeks ago, but I rewatched Super Troopers 2, and there's a part in there where the Canadians are making fun of the Americans on the way they say sorry, you know, because we always make fun of them for saying sorry. And they're like, sorry. Listen to the way he says it. Sorry. So, yeah, it's funny to me.
Really funny.
No, we love the Canadians. I have friends that are Canadians.
Honey is greater than maple syrup.
Ooh, yeah. Girl, I have to disagree with you there.
I will agree with you.
I'm not a fan of honey at all. But I'll eat some maple syrup. I mean, I wouldn't because I'm diabetic. But you know, if I wasn't diabetic, I'd eat some maple syrup.
Which is probably why you're diabetic.
I'm just trying to upset the Canadians. It's not that hard. Just no. You have to bust on the maple leaf. No, I know I've told this story, but James, Sean Shenanigans did a logo for James's new shirt, and it had the maple leaf on there. And James was a guest on FKB, and I made a little tongue-in-cheek joke because I always pick on James for being Canadian about, oh, you had to include the maple leaf. And people, it was really just mainly one guy, was really digging me for saying it. And I'm like, it was tongue in cheek. It was a joke, So I use sugar-free Mrs. Buttersworth. I use sugar-free something. I don't even know.
I think it is Mrs. Butterworth.
Yeah,
Right now, I just usually buy whatever happens to be.
Uncle Ron is in the house.
Uncle Ron, I love you.
Uncle Ron almost never shows up anymore. Yeah, you just got to be careful with that sugar-free stuff because of the laxative effect. So, hi, Uncle Ron. How are you? Make like a maple tree and leaf and maple leaf.
Xander just said, "Oh God."
You're welcome to pull up a stool and hang out. So I invited Zach to be on this live stream. I said, if you'd like to hang out, Mom's going to be on there with me. If you'd like to hang out, you can be part of the live stream. And he said, I don't know. It depends on what else I'm doing.
He's entirely too good for us.
Uncle Ron says he's ding well.
Good to know.
I'm not sure how you get ding, but does not sound very pleasant.
I don't think I want to know.
Zach, drive-by. As long as it's not a drive-by fruiting. Oh, yeah. All right, there's the off movie. I really got to put the bingo back together. We really need the W3DP bingo. Yeah. Maybe I will work on that this week because that doesn't take much energy. I can sit in a chair and do that.
I think Sean Butler nailed it right there. It's Zach turned us down because of James.
That could be. Yeah, that is kind of how, like I said, James isn't going to be there. Your mom's joining us. But, I mean, we also only have 35 people watching, and normally we have between 40 and 50. So there's at least 5, if not 10 people that did not want to be here because James isn't here. Now, the other option is it might just be James, might be the other 10 people watching.
That could be.
He could have 10 accounts. And
Zach is getting tall.
Oh, yeah. He just won't stop. So when Xander kept getting bigger, like I would stand on his feet and squish him down to try to keep him small, but now he has scoliosis, so I don't do that to Zach. I learned the first time.
Yeah. Now Xander towers over me, which isn't saying much, but
no. I mean, you're only like 4'2".
A little taller.
Oh, okay. 5 foot nothing.
5 nothing.
Jeez, that's 5 accounts. Holiday.
Kate
Oh
watches
yeah,
too.
Uncle Ron's right. It is a holiday weekend. Yeah.
It is.
Maybe I should have taken. She's
What?
little. Yeah, but you're still smaller than she is. Maybe I should have taken the
Not by
weekend
much,
off,
actually.
but-
He's gaining on me. Uncle Ron, come on.
Oompa loompa doopity doo. So I really, like I had the discussion last week and people were like, yeah, you're a maker channel. You can do whatever you want. But I said, I want to start making some videos in the garage too, welding videos and car videos and stuff. And I said, maybe I'll start another YouTube channel. And it generally seems that when people run more than one YouTube channel, something suffers.
Yeah. Sure.
But I just don't know if that stuff would fit in on this channel. So then
I think it would. I don't see why.
I mean, I
not.
guess
It is a technology show as well. And you're
it's
stuff.
making, right? Yeah, I'm not thinking like videos like me replacing my radiator hoses because I wouldn't want people to hear what I was saying during that.
No.
No, I don't use that kind of language. Hey, this is a family-friendly channel. Paul Cumber is in the house. Hello, Paul Cumber. Cool as a Paul Cumber. But see if you're having fun making things, it fits.
Yeah.
So I think, and like from the moment we started this channel, I started this channel as a 3D printing channel with no 3D printing experience.
Right.
In fact, we started this channel. I didn't even have a 3D printer in my possession yet. I had ordered one, didn't have it, which is why I've always said that it also incorporates electronic projects because we've done a few of those throughout. And those two kind of go hand in hand anyway. I mean, a lot of times when you do an electronics project, you need a case for it. And there's where the 3D printing comes in very, very heavily. If I start with the welding stuff, I have welding experience. I know how to weld. I'm not a certified welder, but I can very healthily stick two pieces of metal together. TIG welding, however, will be completely new to me. I've never done TIG welding. And Paul says hi.
Hi, Paul.
And but I didn't have any trouble starting this channel as a 3D printing channel, not knowing anything. I mean, the only stuff that I knew at that point was what I'd learned from watching other YouTube channels, mainly Nillaby. So I knew definitely how not to cut myself with a Dremel. Poor Nilla, I miss him so much. Hope he's doing well. So as far as the TIG welding goes, I have no problem firing up a camera and learning to TIG weld in front of people. I've always been able to I'm very thick-skinned. Like, I'm not easily offended. I don't care if people say what I make is ugly or dumb or unnecessary. Just don't talk bad about my family because I'll hunt you down and kill you. Should I have smiled after that?
Absolutely, yes.
No, but seriously, so I don't have any problem diving in if that's something that the community would want to see. And then I guess if that started to take off, I could always branch them at that point, like if it started to become an issue. But
I think that makes sense.
But I think that people really just want me to put a camera in a garage so they can see the inside of the garage.
He's just gonna.
What are you doing with that now?
Isn't that Xander's?
It is technically Xander's. Where was that?
Yeah, probably Xander's old desk.
On the display shelf on the other side. I got a stick and a MIG. I have a stick and a MIG as well. I have stick, MIG, and oxyacetylene. I have not gas welded in so long that I'm not sure I could even do it anymore. I mainly use it for just getting crap hot so I can bend it, or using the cutting torch for cutting stuff off. My MIG welder is small. I have my eye on a brand new one that I'm very excited about, but it's kind of hoping that the government would get off their butt and send us another stimulus check first. And then I want to get into TIG, and I'm kind of doing some research because I don't want to invest a huge amount of money in a TIG welder, because I don't foresee myself welding anything massive with a TIG welder. I'm thinking more like exhaust pipes and aluminum. It'd be nice to have for aluminum, but yeah, flame wrench, blue wrench is what we always refer to it as. You got a stuck bolt, you go get the blue wrench.
Sean says not to burn the house down. I think we're okay being the garage is detached.
Yeah, the garage is actually I would be welding a good 100 feet from here, if not further. And that building's metal. So if and when I get to build the walls in the garage like I want to, I should have that picture and show you guys that picture one day. But there's going to be like a 20 by 20, roughly 20 by 17 room for welding. And I'm going to actually cover the walls in corrugated metal roofing with a flashing for a baseboard so that sparks. And I had an issue one time. Well, I've had a couple of issues, but there was one time when I was grinding and the sparks caught some rags on fire in my garage. Not fire, they were just smoldering. And later I could smell it, and it took us a while to find it. So that was scary because that could have definitely burned the garage down. That was a different house. And then I have a shirt that I wear regularly now. It's a dirt shirt. It's just a gray t-shirt, and it has a hole burned right here. And that was from grinding, and the sparks, it was either grinding or cutting. I can't remember now, but it caught fire, and like it was one of those, and then I have a fleece hoodie that I wear. That's my dirt coat, and the whole front of that is all melted. So yeah, you issues? Nah. Yeah, I have a good time. But I wear safety glasses. I always wear a welding helmet. When I was younger, I used to run the gas torches and even did some gas welding without goggles, but I don't do that anymore. I learned my lesson. So As long as it's flammable, it's good to wear. I've never owned any type of a welder's apron, welder's coat, any of that. I've never owned any of that. But I promise you that I was going to say when I get my new MIG welder, I will. But I promise you, if I start filming it for YouTube, I will absolutely be wearing my protective gear. So. Paul Cumber says he's getting a CNC mill. That's pretty awesome. I've been eyeballing some of the smaller ones for doing PC board. I really, now I'm trying to think of the name of it. Mech. There's a set of free plans. They used to charge for them, and now they're free for making a plasma CNC table. And I've been eyeballing that. But I also know that Open Builds is working on a kit of a CNC plasma table. And I would be very, very interested in that as well. So.
Uncle Ron wants to know how your eyes are doing.
I got new ones. I was tired of these, so I went out and got a glass eye for each side. Supervision. Actually, my appointment was in June or July.
Yeah, it was canceled.
But they called, yeah. Well, it was canceled because my eye doctor had given birth and was off on maternity leave. And they gave me the option to see a different doctor or wait until October. I don't know if they scheduled that or I can't remember.
We'll have to find out.
Whatever. But
the spot is gone.
Yeah, the last, well, yeah, it's as gone as it's going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Once in a while, I can detect that it's still there. But for the most part, the last 3 or 4 visits, they said that there had been no change. Right. Either way, it wasn't getting better and it wasn't getting worse. So they stopped with the injections, which was wonderful. And so then, so otherwise, I mean, my close vision is just garbage anyway. So. But I'm at the point now where I'm going to seriously consider getting real glasses. These are dollar store glasses that I mix and match the lenses, but I would like to have a decent pair. Of course, as rough as I am with these ones, dropping them on the floor all the time. And so, and maybe I'll just always wear a welding helmet. Carl from W3DP is here. How are you, Carl? Dan is also here. Hello, Dan. You guys sliding in late, coming in here 15 minutes before we're wrapping up.
They're waiting on James.
Yeah. They're like, maybe that James guy will show up. If not, we're just going to have to say something so they know we were there. Need the neck strap. Yeah, well, I always wear them up like this, and it's funny. I don't know if you guys can see. See if I can get it in the shine.
The glare kind of.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get it in the glare. I have like 2 permanent embedded indents in my head right here. Oh, that's terrible, Dan. What happened?
Oh no.
And nobody cares about Carl's 3D print mill. We just want to know that Dan's kid's okay. He's okay. All right, good. Yeah, okay. But yeah, so I guess look forward to some welding videos coming up. I might even actually teach myself how to properly MIG weld so that the welds are all pretty and stuff and not just me slapping 2 pieces of metal together. Then I got to figure out, Dan has spares. Then I got to figure out how to tie welding into 3D printing. I mean, I guess I could weld together a 3D printer, make it like fun. Make like a super durable. Maybe I'll make a 3D printer that mounts in the back of the show truck, so that it ties welding, 3D printing, and my automotive obsession all together. Or the welding, I can weld a trailer to move the FK1. So that we can take the FK1 to shows. There's the tie-in.
I don't really think there needs to be a tie-in.
Print a nose from the top of your head to put your glasses on. Oh, that would be messed up. Me missing is mostly yours and Priscilla's fault. You guys introduced me to this guy named Jesus, and I get tied up at his house a lot on Sunday. Well, that's because you're too nice and you volunteer to do stuff.
That takes first place there, Ron.
Plus, you shouldn't be going there. There's people there, and you're going to get the corona. Our church is actually going back to people being present next Sunday.
I've been doing online.
Scary being around. I miss going to restaurants. That's what I miss. I miss eating at Chili's. No sponsor, but if they want to. No stitches, just a split and a follow-up with the ortho next week. Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun. Typical boy got mad and hit something, and we know how that's a bad. Oh yeah, I got two broken bones right here from that, and broken bones in my feet from that.
4 weeks ago, Uncle Ron started back at church.
Whew, yeah, well, you know how those New Yorkers are. They do crazy stuff. Chris Lane is 42 today. Like today.
Well,
happy birthday.
young man.
I would sing you happy birthday, but it'll get me demonetized.
Nobody wants that.
No, nobody wants that. I worked at a go-kart track years ago. In fact, I've worked at a couple of them over the years, but I worked at one, and there was a group of people, and they were making a big deal. Oh, it's her birthday. It's her birthday. So I got on the microphone. Now Chris, you might actually know, it was at Old Town out in Kissimmee. And I got on the microphone, which is really loud and can be heard through most of Old Town, and belted out the perfect rendition of Happy Birthday. And by perfect, I mean people were probably dropping dead in the road. But yeah, it was that was a whole lifetime ago too. That was when I was a little bit more I was gonna say more bold, less socially awkward, or maybe I just hit it better back then because that was still in the computer technician
days.
days.
Between being socially awkward and being shy, and you are not shy.
No, but I don't know if I would just like get on the microphone now and sing.
As long as you don't have to talk to anybody.
Yeah, it's true.
Because I have no problem being on stage yet. I don't.
Yeah, the only reason I can do this is because I can't see the
'Cause you
people.
can't see them, right?
Yeah, because they don't really exist. These are all bots.
Right. That's what I tell Xander. He needs some real friends.
Yep, I know Old Town. Went there many times over the years.
Mhm.
Little darlings. Yep. Sun on the Beach. I worked there too. That's where my sister used to work. I still sit on the sound tech for my church. We didn't really shut down. We did quite well. Yeah, like our sound and tech people have been there too,
Right.
because they've been they were doing it just on Facebook. Now they do Facebook and YouTube. So yeah.
Now, when everything gets back to normal, that was where Xander used to volunteer, was to do
Tech booth
for the kids.
Yeah, now you can get up there and like mix.
Yeah.
He'll come in with his
That'll be fun.
2 turntables and a microphone. That's a song reference.
Oh.
2 turntables and a microphone. Oh, now I just demonetized us. Crap.
Man.
You know, like we make that joke because James does it all the time, and then we make that joke. One of these days, it's really going to catch up to me, and I'm going to lose that 6 cents a week. We're all just sitting on the other side of the screen in our underwear. Well, I could be sitting right now in my underwear, and you wouldn't know it. Oh, just wanted to be sure.
You are, however, not wearing socks, which is unusual.
Well, yeah,
When did that start?
It's been a while now.
Yeah.
Maybe about a year. So, but yeah, no, I've made comments that I don't typically stream because I might go to the overhead shot and somebody see my feet. Not that there's anything wrong with my feet. It just feels weird showing my feet.
I don't.
You
I
know,
don't
and
have
then
a
there's
problem with feet.
the whole.
Some people have a problem with feet.
Well, there's the whole foot fetish thing, and I wouldn't want somebody, you know, like clicking like 10 times because I showed my feet.
That would be weird.
Demonetized. Yeah, I think that everybody in the audience should be wearing a Fun King 3D shirt available at teespring.com.
They could all
I think.
tell you they're wearing a 3D.
Well, I would know if people were buying them because
Oh,
I would be
that's
getting
nice.
residual income from it. But Used to race go-karts 25 years ago. I can still tear down a 5-horsepower Briggs and bore stroke it and run methanol. So when I was in high school, I took auto mechanics both 11th and 12th grade. So I took auto mechanics 1 and 2 in my 11th grade year. Typically, you couldn't take it as a freshman. You had to take it as a sophomore or more. I don't know why I started so late, but I started late. But one of the things that they had us do was bring in an old lawnmower and tear it down and learn about all the parts and then put it back together. My 12th grade year, hello, Mitch. My 12th grade year, I took auto mechanics I took 3 and 5 first semester and 4 and 6 second semester, which you're not supposed to do, but they got a special permission. So I was in there for 4 hours a day. Well, part of that was teaching the younger students. So when it came time for lawnmower time, we got to help a lot of kids tear down lawnmowers and put them back together. And then we would always ask the kids to volunteer their lawnmower up, and then we would blow it up. We would run them without oil, or we would inject oxyacetylene into them, whatever, to get them to explode. Well, one of the teachers had found out that we were doing lawnmowers and had asked me, this can't come back on me now, right? Had asked me to rebuild their lawnmower. So it was my history teacher. And so I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Well, I used it as an excuse to, when I invented the wheel, wait till I see you, Mitch, I'm going to give you a wedgie. So I was always using it as an excuse. Being I was already in auto mechanics the last 4 hours of the day. I had English first period, history second period, 4 hours of auto mechanics. So I'd be like, hey, I need to go to auto mechanics. I'm working on your lawnmower. And he'd be like, yeah, go for it. So I spent most of my 12th grade year in auto mechanics 5 hours a day because of this lawnmower. It was just a regular push lawnmower now. So like, I don't even think it was self-propelled thinking back on it. I didn't touch that lawnmower until the second to the last day of school. And so he had said to me, hey, is my lawnmower going to be done? And I said, oh yeah, I just got a couple more things I got to do on it. Let me run over there and I'll finish it up. So I went in, and in one class period, which was 50 minutes, I tore that lawnmower down, did all the machining, painted it, put it back together while the paint was still sticky, pushed it outside, started it up, and mowed a strip from the auto shop up to the back of his classroom. And I'm like, there it is. And he was so thrilled. I rebuilt that whole entire lawnmower in 50 minutes. Oh, those were the days. And then I went upon inventing the wheel.
Yes. And we're all very grateful.
What?
Peanut gallery.
Wait till we have smell cards for computer, email, fart, foot smell. Oh, they've been working
Zach
on
would
that.
like that.
Yeah, smell-o-vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. God, I really hope they never come up with that. I mean, one, because it could be used for bad, but could you imagine you're just like watching TV and then like
Yeah,
a
and then you
popcorn
smell
commercial
something.
comes on and you're like, oh, I gotta go have popcorn. Whew.
Well, and the shows that, the CSI and stuff like that, you'd be smelling dead bodies.
Oh yeah. Oh well, that's what I'm saying. They could abuse it. So
Oh.
now you can buy one at Harbor Freight for like nothing. Yeah, I made all the gaskets for it, except for the head gasket. I think I reused the old head gasket, but all the gaskets were made out of manila folder by putting the folder on the casting and tapping it with a ball peen hammer and then cutting it out. Oh my God, those were the days. Oxy injection, love it, been there, done. Oh yeah, we had so much fun. Like we had a company had donated thick sheets of acrylic for something completely unrelated. So we ended up making like a blast shield. And we would put the motors behind it, and we had a little hole drilled through it for the string for the throttle. And we'd run that thing wide open with water in the crankcase instead of oil. Surprisingly, how long some of those engines ran when they should have failed immediately. But usually, when they failed spectacularly. So, good time if you ever get an old lawnmower that you don't want. And what happens in a show when they shoot the crowd with tear gas or something? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I truly hope they never, ever, ever invent smell-o-vision.
No.
And on that note, it is now 6 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wow.
That 2 hours goes really fast,
Yeah, it
doesn't it?
did.
Yeah, I have to constantly watch that little clock. And
We didn't take care of dinner.
I'm going to go get it.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yay.
didn't
Good.
want to order it. So
God bless you, Paul. Thank you.
I honestly, Michael, I don't know what it was. We're talking about way back in the early 90s. Might even been late 80s.
I graduated
it would
in
have been-
89.
It would have been early 90s. So, but ladies and gentlemen, that does bring us to the close of yet another episode of the greatest 3D printing related 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live stream that you can find anywhere on YouTube.
Thank you, Uncle Ron. That's sweet.
I should have that's what we should have named the stream. Is your favorite 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time 3D printing related live stream?
Yeah, that usually.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So you guys are going to notice that from now on the title in YouTube is going to be abbreviated. It's just W3DP live stream now, so that I can have more funny stuff after it.
Right.
Today's episode, I think, was the one where somebody couldn't be bothered to show up or something along those lines. I don't know. I just like to have a little bit of fun with it and have a different title for each one, so that there's a way to go back and reference them. Otherwise, if you did not tune in and watch the MakerBox video from yesterday, shame on you. Shame.
Do that.
Shame. It came, spoiler alert, with this awesome 3D Fuel sticker that I have so many of, but it's okay. It came with another one. But go check that out. And again, if you guys don't watch my MakerBox videos, a lot of work goes into those intros, and we have a really good time. I won't say that they're always the best, but they are almost always fun to make. The other one I was thinking about just yesterday was it was a dark and stormy night. So for the people who are newer to the channel, search my channel for It Was a Dark and Stormy Night. Please go back and watch that video. That video was a video that we made for IC3D when I was trying to convince them to make Fun King 3D Yellow PETG. If you've never tried any Fun King 3D Yellow PETG, it is available at ic3dprinters.com.
I agree with Uncle Ron.
That he needs to retire and move down here. Yeah, but where would you live? Because if you live in your house, then Shane has to leave. Well, I guess Shane could move in here.
Yes.
Well, let's work on that. So anyway, non-fam just showed up at the very last moment as we're getting ready to leave. But hello anyway, and thanks for the smiley. I was just trying to get a few extra little plugs in there. Otherwise, no Coke Zero today. I did not drink Coke.
No, you had your what did you call it?
My Pomeranian juice.
Pomeranian juice.
But I usually drink Coke and then give Coke a hard time for not being a sponsor. So I didn't drink Coke because Coke's not a sponsor. But if you want to be, if you're looking for a tenant, give me 2 more years. It'll probably be available then too. Let's see what else. I think that's it. I don't really have any videos coming out this week that I know of, but weird things could happen.
Yeah.
I promise you, we are still working on the new concept for Xander's Thing Thursdays. The 99% chance they are going to return with a twist. I'm just going to be a robot. I'm just going to make a robot do it so that I don't have to deal with the kid. The theme song for these streams will be coming. It's been my fault. I have dropped the ball, but you guys were awesome enough to donate the money to get that covered. So that is going to happen. And Ryan Drum Loops from Fiverr is really excited about doing it. So that's cool. Other than that, I don't really think I have any announcements. So thanks for tuning in. Bye. Oh, no. As I say every week, thanks to each and every one of you guys for showing up, because that's coming. Because without you guys, this would be absolutely senseless to do. We love each and every one of you guys. You guys are super important to us, and we only do this for you, because I definitely wouldn't do this for myself. If you like what we're doing, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and as always, a thumbs up is greatly appreciated, mainly by Zach. And until next time, as always,
Thumbs up.
print on.